A massive, a huge, a gargantuan win for Man United. To cement what we did against Liverpool, to score multiple goals in a game, 2 in both halves, maybe even facing that adversity at the end and being the team that goes to get the next goal. We haven't done that a lot. I feel there were some moments today. Lemaine's could he have done better with a free kick, potentially, but there was that cross that came in earlier in the game, only at 2-0, that went through everybody, and he got a little touch on it to put it around the post. You know with Bayandere, you know with Onana, that goes in. But United today had to show progression from that Liverpool game. Now, have we turned a corner? That's going to be a big question. That's going to be a big debate. That's going to be a big conversation throughout the course of this week. And we're going to have that conversation. But 3 wins in a row, going into 4th place in the league. I'm not going to complain. I can't complain. I won't complain. 4 wins out of our 5 home games this season. I can't complain. I won't complain. With everything that's going on. Massive, huge was this win today. Massive. And I'll start with a few of the positives here. The first thing I want to start with, I love the starting lineup from the manager. I thought it was absolutely spot on considering the injuries to Mount and Maguire. Great. The opening 10 minutes, Brighton were better than Man United. We spoke about this on the United stand on Friday, that if we pressed too much, they would pass through us. And the opening 10 minutes, we pressed too much. They were getting the ball into Danny Welbeck, and they were creating openings and opportunities. And I was worried. I was concerned. I could see a defeat coming. But then Ruben Amorim made changes. He said, stop pressing as much. I want the back line in a 5, and I want you more narrow. And I want one of you stepping out. It was invariably De Ligt, who had an amazing game. And De Ligt, for me, is probably one of a handful of players at the minute that just isn't getting the praise, isn't getting the applause, isn't getting the adulation that he deserves. It was a phenomenal game from him. Forget the rating that's picked up from some obscure website. He was out of this world. And after that 10 minutes, he stepped out. He stopped the ball coming into Danny Welbeck. And Brighton didn't know what to do. Once they tried new things, we then started pressing again. And we became the dominant side. And I want to break down Matheus Cunha's goal to begin with, because what I loved is we win the ball back high. There was this delightful ball from Bruno Fernandes. This absolutely amazing ball from Bruno Fernandes. First time, similarly, inside the foot, where he keeps the ball moving. It goes to Casemiro. Casemiro finds Matheus Cunha. And then for the first time this season, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it, Cunha did what I expected him to do when we bought him. Got the ball out of his feet, created half a yard, used the defending player at Brighton as a bit of a shield and a marker, and curled that ball into the far bottom corner. Those low XG goals, those goals from nothing, those moments of individual brilliance. We need more of it, more of it, more of it, more of it. All top teams do. And Man United want to be a top team. We're a massive club, but we want to be a top team again. I was so happy for Cunha. Brilliant goal. We then dominated the rest of that first half with very few issues whatsoever. And Casemiro's goal again. This time we did press because we got them on the back foot. They were a little panicky. We'd unsettled them. The manager was right to then instruct that press. Luke Shaw wins the ball back. Comes to Casemiro. He has a pop. It's going on target. You can see it curling in. It may have got saved. But we got a little lucky. There was a deflection and it went in. And maybe we've deserved that luck this season. There's been many a game with high XG, loads of shots, been saved, just missed. You know, this time we got a little luck, went in at 2-0 up. And we came out in the second half. And again, I just thought we pressed at the right time. We were compact at the right time. And we worked the ball well. And then the third goal, there was a slight bit of controversy to it because Luke Shaw certainly grabs the shirt of Minter. But the PGMOL, I was glad to see some consistency from them today. There was some inconsistency in the first half with the penalty shout for Ahmad. There was a very slight deflection on the ball from the defender, but they've said slight touches and slight deflections are not winning the ball. Should have been a penalty based on their own words. But what they have done for 2 years now is stated that fleeting holds that last for less than a split second, or less than a second, are fleeting and they're not fouls. And they stuck with the on-field decision. I would want the foul in that regard, but fleeting pulls have not been fouls for a few years. Just Google the word fleeting pull, PGMOL, and you'll see all the articles, all the conversations about it. But from that point into Šeško, ball played into Mbeumo, and Mbeumo he's starting to find himself. He's starting to find his confidence, and I love it. Was so Mo Salah-esque. Harry he just times it for the defender to block the goalkeeper, hits it through the defender's legs, bottom corner 3-0, and we thought that was it. We thought it was game over. We thought, boom, that's it. I didn't. I'm in the group chats, everybody's celebrating, everybody's saying we've won, everybody's saying the game's over. I couldn't do that. I won't ever become that arrogant. I won't ever become that full of myself with Man United. I simply can't ever feel like that at the moment. And we were quite comfortable. And this is the only element of the day that Amorim made a mistake. And I believe in praising good bits when we lose. I will criticize bad bits when we win. Dorgu didn't need to come on. We have no need, unless there's an injury and we don't know about it, there was zero need to take off Ahmad and change anything at the back. I kind of get giving Aiden Heaven, who actually gets the assist in the end, an opportunity, but we should have kept the fullbacks as they were. But I think we sent a message. Gary Neville said it on commentary and he was right. The game's over, it's done. And then Dorgu makes a mistake with a really weak pass. There's a counter. It was a foul because he clips the man's legs. It wasn't a red card because, as you see when you pause it, the contact's made as the ball's about to be picked up by the goalkeeper. So he didn't stop him from a goal-scoring opportunity, but it's still a foul. It's a well-hit free kick. I think Lemaines can do better, but that's when my nerves kicked in. That's why I was so proud of us against Liverpool last week, because when we conceded, I thought we'd capitulate. There's something about Old Trafford. Yes, we're 4 wins from 5, and I want it to become a fortress, but it isn't. You could see this nervousness. We were panicking, the way we're moving the ball. Every time they attacked, you could see our players second-guessing themselves. Like if you watch a footballer, sometimes they're sort of like this. They're shaky. They go in, they stop, they stutter. We were second-guessing ourselves. And we had a few opportunities where we could have made it 4-0. We could have made it 4-1 at that point, and we didn't. And then they win a corner. And I see a few people blaming Lemaines. I wouldn't. I don't understand how Xerxes getting beaten to that ball. He looks slowing off the pace, and I suppose that happens when you don't get a lot of game time. The man's half his size physically, like in weight, really? The free kick was close. What is that comment there? The free kick was... No, let me put it up, KJ. Let me press it. I know I pressed it at the same time. The free kick was taken 10 yards closer to goal than where the foul was committed. Again, rivals won't bring that up, will they? They'll just... do you remember last year when they were getting out all the measuring sticks for the wall against United? Everyone cried. That won't happen. But we shouldn't have conceded from that corner. And it pissed me off a bit because I'm sitting here thinking it was meant to be a party atmosphere. It will dampen it a little bit, but come on, let's see it through. What I was then, after that moment, proud of, we got into that last 5 minutes of added on time, and that second goal seemed to wake us up. It was like smelling salts to a boxer. It was that element of, we better wake up. And then Manu, Bruno, and Mbeumo, they kept the ball well in the corner. We get a free kick. Nearly scored from that with a wonderful bit of play with Delo and Bruno. And then I'm sitting there thinking, where was this for 10 minutes, you mugs? were you putting me through the ringer? I love you, but you're putting me through the ringer. And then the final goal, this is one of those moments where Aiden Heaven will get the assist and then Mbeumo will get the plaudits for his finish. But that dummy by Bruno Fernandes was a genius move, and he's one of only a few players in the world that can do it. We get the fourth, we kill the game off. That last 20 seconds, a minute of the game was lovely. Phew. And we go fourth. And do you know what? Look, Liverpool could win. They kick off in 20 minutes' time of me recording this and going live. Loads of teams play tomorrow. We could be knocked down to 5th or 6th, and that's fine. But we deserve to be where we are. The last 3 games, overall, we've been excellent. Overall, we've been very, very good. I think we've been excellent. We're now starting to see the Cunhas and the Mbeumos and Šeško, because his hold-up play was very good again today, show us why we bought them. Lemaines, again, I just feel more comfortable with him at the back. Yes, could he have saved the free kick? Maybe, maybe not. But I feel more comfortable by and large with him in the team. We've now got 2 tough away games to come. And look, I'm going to address a few things before I bring the panel out to have their say. I've seen a few people kind of come at me a little bit. Oh, Terry, you said the players weren't working hard. You know, Terry, you wanted the manager gone. Well, let's address those things, because I will. I haven't completely changed my mind about everything. I'm praising wins. But did I see against Grimsby, did I see against Brentford, these players look like they didn't care? Did I look at them and go, are you really busting a gut? To me personally, yes. I don't take those words back. What have I seen in these last 3 games? Interestingly, since the gym publicly backed the manager, maybe it got into the players' heads. Well, we're going to have to do our best here, no matter what goes on. They're backing him. But these players have covered every blade of grass. They've persevered. They've got the victories done. They haven't given up. And I've been very proud of them. And I will criticize them when I think they're not giving their all. And I will praise them when they are. And they did that. On Ruben, listen, I said that he might have to get sacked. I also said that I don't think sacking him necessarily fixes us because of issues with the players, work rate, etc., conversion rate, etc. And I stand on that. But what has Ruben done? He's adapted. We've gone more long ball, which I'm absolutely fine with. He's made adjustments in the last couple of games, including after the first 10 minutes today. So when any melt said, never makes adjustments, he did in that moment. Just point to that. Whether you like him or loathe him, let's be honest and let's be fair and let's be consistent in what we're talking about here. Okay? Now, on top of that, something I spoke about all season, conversion rate. We were averaging in the first 5-6 games of this season a conversion rate of around 4.5%. If you look in the last 3 games, it's somewhere in the region of about 17.5%, 18% conversion rate. And I know a lot of you don't like the stats behind the facts, but at the end of the day, let's just put it into the most basic, normal football terms you can imagine. When you score goals, you change games. And against Sunderland, against Liverpool, against Brighton, we've taken chances. In all 3 games, we've scored early chances. If you go back to Arsenal, Fulham, if you go back, even the games we won against Burnley, early chances didn't take them. Man City, 2 or 3 times we got in, played the wrong path, didn't shoot accurately. Take your chances, the game state changes. The 2 penalties we missed against Brentford, where we actually played badly, and against Fulham, we could actually be sitting top. Now, I know it's fine margins. It could go the other way, by the way. Teams that had good chances that missed, they could have scored. We could be sitting bottom, right? I understand that. But goals change games. And in all those matches, we were the ones with the chances to take the leads, to extend leads, to make it harder for our opponents. And in the last few games, Cunha, Seshko, Bruno, Maguire, of course, have stepped up massively. But the man I want to give the most amount of praise to is the guy you can see on the screen, Brian Mbeumo. Brian Mbeumo, what a signing he has been so far. What a signing he has been so far. And his work rate is amazing. His touch is great. He's scoring goals. He created chances today. His overall performance, I just thought, was sensational. I think he's been brilliant for large parts of this season. The only one game I wasn't happy with him in, actually, was the Fulham game away. I thought he should have attacked the fullback a lot more. But outside of that, I'm just absolutely buzzing with what he's done. That's 4 league goals. I think it's 4 league goals, 5 GA in his 9 games. But you can now start to see the levels increasing. You can now start to see the quality coming through. But I wanted to give a bit of time to say that to him. And my final bit on the overarching element that United, do I think we've turned a corner? No. What I think we have is the beginning of it. We have not the burning embers when a fire's dying out. What we have right now is some kindling that's setting alight. We've got that lovely crackling sound of, oh, could we do something from here? The next 2 games are massive. Away to Forest, away to Tottenham. Both games we lost last year. We then play at home to Everton. I'm still keeping my feet firmly on planet Earth. I'm praising the team. I'm so happy with the team. But I'm still keeping things 100. I'm still keeping my feet on the ground because we have to. But in isolation to today's game, again, well done to Ruben Amorim overall. I thought you got nearly everything barring bringing Dorgu on correct. Mbeumo, amazing. Cunha, congrats on your first goal. More of the same. A little loose in possession. I know the Baller FC won't call him out for that when he loses the ball easily because he looks good when he loses the ball. But I want him to tighten up on that a little bit more. And outside of that, the only other message I've got is to the manager. Come on, I still think in this next 4, 5, 6 games, the game's never over. You know, you didn't need to bring Dorgu, and we're playing 1 game a week. I know you want to give people minutes, and I understand that. Outside of that, listen, well done, United. We sit inside the top 4. Stop the count. Stop the count, motherfuckers. Let's just end the league. Null and void it. Whatever. Lock down it. Let's do it. Let's just take this. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be nice to be back in the Champions League. But well done, boys. Well done, Ruben. Very, very happy. And on to the next one. Hit the like button, please. Make sure you're liking this show. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel as well. Thank you.